How's it going? So today's been, I don't even know. I wouldn't know how to, this is day 10 homelessness. Uh, my hot imaginary Hispanic girlfriend's been paying my hotel bill, okay? And we don't need, look, hey, we don't need to talk about it, okay? What we do need to talk about today though, smoking hotels. Smoking hotels, right? You ever been in a hotel where you can smoke? I didn't think so. Okay, I haven't. This is my first time. Now, I don't want to go into detail about where I used to live. Okay, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. We don't need to go there. $3,000 in the shitter. We don't need to go there. Okay, but what I really do want to go into today, I went out. I got me a copy of this at the bookstore. Okay, I'm not telling you where. I'm not telling you where I got this from. I got Jet Set Radio Future. You want to know how people have like really shitty days, and like you probably made like what? You made about like $20 today. Okay, you had $10 extra in your bank account. You want to do this and that, and you look. There was nothing you wanted to do more than to play your Xbox 360. You know when the last time I was able to play my Xbox 360? Fuck, man. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. And I know what you're thinking, motherfucker. You're playing on an Xbox 360. Yeah, I'm playing on a fucking Xbox 360. Thank you. Play my PlayStation 2. All right. I don't give a shit. I'll play my PlayStation 3. If you gave me a PlayStation 1 with some games, I'd be sitting there for hours, bro. Okay, if I had time and money, right? Like, if I want to go out and venture out and find something fun to do, there's one thing that you can always rely on. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I think this is what I've been told, okay? This is the type of thing that goes through my head. That pasty ass, nasty ass, white dude, mid-ass motherfucker, you think he's really that good looking, okay? And you know what I say to that? Do you have Seinfeld seasons 1 and 2 on DVD? No, you don't. And you can keep hating, okay? I don't give a fuck who you are. Jerry Seinfeld is fucking funny, okay? I used to be the type of guy that thought Jerry Seinfeld. I used to think Seinfeld was the most boring ass fucking show in the world. I'm gonna put it real with you. I was like 13 years old. I don't get this shit. Who thinks this shit's funny? You know what I mean? Then I started realizing what these like. Look, man. I know this sounds gay as fuck. All right. But you know how people will say like anime's real to me, WWE's real to me. Jerry Seinfeld in Seinfeld is real to me. Okay, I've only seen about 3 episodes, and I can relate heavily. Okay, you know when you go to a bar. Let's say you go to a bar, okay, and you're at the Applebee's, right? You're at the Applebee's. You're at the Raisin Cane's, and you tell like the most mundane, pointless, like shittiest, most boring mundane, like the most, like the shittiest this of her joke. You know what I mean? Like something that's just so like you should throw that shit in the trash bin type like piece of paper, right? Like for real. Like I'm talking like I remember this one older guy told me this dad joke, okay? I forget, we were passing by a cemetery, right? And he said something about skeletons. Why are people at the cemetery something? Because they're dying to do something. I can't remember, but I still laughed because it was fucking funny. And you know what? People don't make jokes anymore, dude. Nobody makes any fucking jokes. Not a single fucking joke have I heard. Recently, let's do one like on the internet, right? Like if you see someone on the internet, real life, it is so fucking boring. It is like when I'm telling you, I go down to the Applebee's. You want to know how my day goes every day? I'm not trying to make this like a pity, party or whatever. But most of my days consist of riding around on a fucking longboard, doing DoorDash in a car. It's like 110, 120 degrees out in this hot fucking summer that we're living in. This hellish inferno. And I can't remember the last time somebody came up to me and said something funny that made me fucking laugh. Not one thing. It is fucking depressing. People are like, I remember I went up to I was at Raising Cane's doing my DoorDash. I went up to the guy. I'm just waiting for my ride, dude. I'm just waiting for my ride. And I tell him, this is how it went. This is literally how it went. Okay. Guy, do you know, here's the real joke though. Here's my practice. Okay. So, somebody tells me to do sex work, right? I tell him this. Look, I think this is how it went. That's really how the conversation went though with this guy. Okay, I went to work today. I did sex work today. Right? I think that's how it went. And then I look at him and I go, hey, I went to work today and I didn't have sex. And you know what? I hope it at least made his night, even if he was about to go home and like probably have like the most horrible, mundane thing happen to him, even if it were like unprovocably impossible to get through. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like if they're just because people are born onto this earth with like shitty things that they can't tolerate. You know what I mean? Like I'm like that. I feel that. You know what I'm saying? Like at any given moment, there's so many things going through my head or my body or anything else in my life that just sucks. And then there's some things that you have to like, you know what I mean? Where you have to overlap. Like think of like a fucking, think of like some kind of weird, like crazy, like 7 set analog system, weird fucking thing that can, like a DVD, but it can swap. Like my dad used to have one of those 5-disc DVD player things. And he could swap any disc at any time, but he never used the feature, right? And it was always a thought to me, like why? Because Blu-ray came out and the DVD player became obsolete, and the technology for the DVD player was what? Well, I'd rather play Blu-rays because Blu-rays are better. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like that's the type of shit that goes on in my brain. Like here's the first disc. But I'm thinking of it more like a VHS tape. That bitch going and like a robot, like some weird robotic like interchangeable system in there that like flips the analog. I don't know what you weird people are into, and I don't know anything about TVs or DVDs or VCRs or whatever. That should be going. That's my brain. It's like a heavy piece of machinery. It's not even old either. That's the crazy thing. I oiled this thing up. I put 20 tons of tar, nicotine, and caffeinated beverages, mixed in a concoction in the barrel of my stomach that flies back neuronically through every single crevice of my body, whether it be my legs, my wiener, or my hair follicle. Okay, all that shit flying in at once, and think about sweating that shit out, going around finding something to do, sweating it out. I don't have a fancy job, okay? I work fucking DoorDash. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't remember what I was going to tell you. But I think I was onto some kind of idea that was smart. Because there's this one guy that's on the internet, that guy's funny as fuck, okay? That guy's like, dude, literally it doesn't matter what you do in life. Things are fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Why not be happy? Like look, my ex-girlfriend, for instance. Most of these females that can't, like that are younger, that are more or less mature, even if they are in adulthood, they're thinking of like what? Hello Kitty, like oh blind box Hello Kitty, and like think of like that. You know, look, I'm gonna show you right now. Look, do you see this thing? Watch. You see this? This is me when I think of that. This is literally, look, my bad, I can't see the camera. This is me right now. This is me, third person, up front. This is Hello Kitty girl over here. Look, watch this shit. When I see her happy, she's like just a happy, simple blind box will make her happy in an Animal Crossing video game for like 2 hours or something. People right now, especially if you have to work, okay? You're not feeling that way. I mean, you are, but like, I don't know how to explain it. You know? I can't explain that shit to you unless you actually work. Which pretty much fucking everybody has to work, dude. You can't get away from it, bro. Like, you can try it. Look, I'm gonna put it this way. Unless you're like fucking in some high security cell with Elon Musk, and you have like like the fucking Geneva Convention, doing like a whole patrolling around your neighborhood and your family or whatever, your generational wealth or whatever is accumulating all around you, with even interconnectivity of per se, like your neighbors being like fucking what's that fucker's name? Is it Neil deGrasse Tyson? Like that type shit, like all of them together like that. Good luck trying to have a sustainably happy life. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, like, if you're planning to have no hardships. You know what I mean? I don't mean that in a fucked up way. Like I said, even just this, man. 2 episodes of Seinfeld might calm me down. Okay. You know what? I have books. I read books. Okay? I read books. That's what makes me happy. And honestly, it doesn't make me even that happy. What makes me happy is the idea that when I get that knowledge, like per se, into my brain, like something I didn't know. Maybe not shit like fucking butterflies and how their wingspans work and shit. Other people are different. You know what I mean? Like any weird ass shit that goes in my brain, like, you know what, that kind of felt good to look at or read right now. And that kind of subconsciously went through my day and I kind of like cycled that out. That type of shit, you know? Like, it's good, but it's painful. And it's crazy to think if you're at home and you have nothing to do, and you're like, let's say you're neat, and you don't even think to yourself, maybe I shouldn't be playing Dead by Daylight all day. Maybe I shouldn't be playing the Dead by Daylight 10th anniversary. This is you. Literally, look, watch this. This is you. And this is the Dead by Daylight 10th anniversary, and I haven't been outside in 2 weeks. I'm not saying you need help. I don't know what you need. But I can tell you right now, like, even just reading like a fucking, if you found like an article or like a book that explained how horror movies were made, or I don't even fucking know. How Sega operates their company from 1999 to 2003. You'd still have better knowledge than you would get knowing how to go from pallet to pallet as Michael Myers in Tier 3 Unlimited. Yeah, I haven't even played that fucking game. But I can tell you right now, I miss it, man. It's like my ex-girlfriend. I miss my ex-girlfriend, right? But do I miss my ex-girlfriend? Or do I miss the idea of having somebody in my life because I'm lonely? That is where we're at. That's where we're at right now. Okay? I went up to... This is a bit personal. I went up to her house today. We didn't have the best relationship, right? I went up to her house. You know, I calmed myself down. If you know who I am, which a lot of people do, not like that, but more like you know what I mean? I have family members and stuff that have met me before, and they know I'm not necessarily somebody told me that they need a safety switch. I would argue sometimes when I'm not taking my medications, I might need one. If I'm in the wrong room with somebody who has an interesting spirit, I might, you know what I'm saying? My switch might need to be like glued down. Like somebody needs to like take a, you know what I'm saying? Like super glue and then fucking switch that thing down and keep it off. And arguably, if it gets too hot outside, it's going to melt off and it's going to flip right back up. Okay? And I went up to my ex-girlfriend's house. You know, dignified, calm down, like, man, you know, I've been with her for 7 years. And I can't even see her. She doesn't want to see me. She doesn't want to talk to me. She doesn't want to do anything with me. And her mom tells me she's so scared of you. She's so terrified of you. You know, I don't know what you did to her. I'm just sitting there, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to explain this shit to you. I couldn't explain it. I couldn't even explain it to my next door neighbors for them to understand if they were in the same room if they weren't there at that moment. Okay? It's too much. It's too much, man. It's not the idea that I want to have my ex-girlfriend in my life. You know, it's the idea that I genuinely want somebody in my life that I value as a human being. And that I would rather have like a second half of, you know, that can, I don't know, understand like who I am and have like a relationship where it's like I don't want to be apart from you, and I'd be happy and trustworthy of you to understand You know what I mean? Like to the point where like I don't have to feel like, you know, like you're gonna cheat on me, or I'm insecure because you haven't assured me this, or people don't want to talk about that. I don't give a fuck if you're the biggest guy in the world. Everybody's got an emotion, dude. You might not be the best person in the world, but I can guarantee anybody on this earth, if they wanted a girlfriend, if they had that idea in their head where they want somebody and they're lonely, they have to quantify that in their brain to the point where they're like, yeah, I need somebody that I trust, somebody that I love, that I can put my faith into. And that's rather appendages to the idea of God, per se, faith. But I'd argue that in the ideology of the notions of what God is, per se, in faith, the faith that I'm not going to go do this, or I'm not going to do that, or I'm going to keep myself at this point somewhere and hold myself accountable at that point, right? To where it's like I'm not going to go out and do something like that could potentially fuck up my next week to year. And I have faith that if I continue down that path, it's, you know what I mean? Even if it doesn't turn out the way that I want it to, at least I kept the faith and understand that if other things happen in life, you know, it's the faith that kept me going, right? As opposed to the idea that maybe I got Sega 2002 GT and I was able to play it today, okay? I wasn't able to. I'm just happy that I got 2 packs of cigarettes today. I could have gotten out, probably could have got out and found a way to get a controller. I have addictions, I have problems, I smoke cigarettes all day, right? I got vices, but I don't know, man. But what I am happy about, what am I happy about today? I don't know. You know when you have those moments where you just drive around. I'm fucking happy to be alive today. Those are those good times. Those are the good moments right there. Those are the moments that are fun. You know, those are the moments where you're like, I might be homeless. I might have that. But I love my life right now. That's what I look for, man. Not inevitably my ex-girlfriend per se, because I'm lonely and I'm upset and I miss my quote unquote whoopee and I need her around. Okay. And I hope whatever I talked about today kind of subconsciously went in and made you think, like, you know, even if it was just like I went Sega GT Racing 2002. Like, I hope at least that makes you happy.